We don't like to make a habit of surrendering to listener demands, but with so many people metaphorically and literally banging down our doors begging us to cover this topic, we finally decided to relent. In what may be Kristin's most autistic episode to date, she's taking us through the long and winding history of water bottle trends. From Nalgene to Stanley, she's laying out the pros and cons of the most popular drinking vessels on the market, calling out the toxic consumerism tactics used by Big Bottle to create this collector's craze, and making some bold predictions for trends to come.
They said that we'd grow out of it. Well, the joke's on them, that's just our brains. We're eccentric, loud, and stubborn, and most of our clothing is covered in stains. It's not a deficit of attention, there's just too much to think about. So if executive dysfunction becomes a little too much, if you forgot why you came in this room, or you're hypersensitive to touch, then put on your seamless socks and come join our little flock. Bitches stimming together, we're weirds of a feather. Weirds of a feather.
Caw-caw! Are you ready? Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready-ish.
Are you?
Yeah.
We got it.
Yeah.
I also don't have a warm-up question, but I thought I wrote one down. Hold on.
Okay.
Nothing's going to be as great as the centaur.
Centaurs.
Yeah, that was a great one. These aren't great, but here's one.
All right, what you got?
Okay. This is going back to my Florida episode.
Oh, wait, are we supposed to introduce the podcast
Yeah, I
first?
think we're supposed to introduce the podcast first. That's usually what we do.
Should we do that?
Yeah.
Well, let's
We
talk
should
about it a
probably.
little more.
Yeah.
What are the pros and cons of doing that versus not?
I mean, we could jump on into it. People might not know who or what they're listening to.
And isn't that fun?
It's a mystery. Mystery-sode.
Ooh,
That's what it'll be.
mystery-sode. But no, this is
No.
Weirds of a Feather. Welcome.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. This isn't a mystery. It's just us.
It's just us.
And this is Weirds of a Feather, an AuDHD-Adjacent podcast. That's what we are. And my name is Grace Beret.
And my name is Kristin Stanhope.
And we're your hosts.
Here we are.
We're hosting.
Hosting.
Someone let us do this.
Yep, we did. We
It's
let
us.
ourselves
Yeah.
do this.
That's the great thing about a podcast. You don't need permission. You just need to do it.
Here we are.
Get a microphone.
Yep.
Talk into it. Boom. We got a podcast.
Yeah.
Easy.
Well, no, it's actually, there's a lot
there's
more.
a ton of work
There's
that
a
goes
ton
into
of
it.
work that goes into it.
You could put
so.
something shitty out, just
We
you.
could, but we.
It's not.
Would you
in my,
be able to?
It's not
live
my
with-
DNA.
I would be able to live with myself.
Yeah.
I got a warm up question.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is in reference to the Florida episode.
Jimbo the Florida man.
Yeah, kind of.
All right.
It's about alligators. You can eat alligators in Florida.
Okay.
Would that be surf or turf?
It's a really good question.
Right? 'Cause
Yeah.
they're in the water, but they're also out of the water.
Yeah. Yeah. What would an amphibian be? It would be,
Yeah.
I think, a surf
Are
turf.
they? They're not an amphibian.
I mean, a reptile, not amphibian. Forget I said that.
Well, then what would frogs be? 'Cause
Right.
You can eat frogs.
Because
We could do-
then I was thinking about amphibians. They're more water
Yeah.
than land. Reptiles are more land than water. No, I guess
Where do you
they're
draw the
pretty
line
solidly
between
both.
surf and turf?
When does it go from surf to turf? What are the qualifications for a surf?
We need
or
a
for
Florida
turf?
man or woman.
Jimbo, the Florida
Jimbo.
woman.
Help us.
Help us.
Yeah, it was something I was thinking about as I was chomping on little gator bites. Turns out, it tastes like chicken nuggets.
You did eat alligator?
Yeah, I did. No, it just tastes like chicken. Yeah, I would have ate it again. I think maybe it was a little tougher, but they were fried, so they were delicious. I don't think so. I guess the tail is the meatiest part. I don't know. I didn't see it at any of the restaurants. But where would I feel like python would be really hard to.
I'm looking it up. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
edible. It's edible and can be used in recipes that normally call for chicken or pork. It may
Oh.
contain high levels of mercury. Womp womp.
Well, as is tuna, right?
Yeah, you just gotta
So-
test it. Oh, python meat can be cooked in a pressure cooker to make it more tender.
Oh.
Wow.
Wait a minute. We both have pressure cookers. Should we
Should
order?
we be eating pythons? I mean,
Do they have that at Shaw's?
maybe. Really, if you're going to be killing all these pythons, might as well eat. Oh, this article says Florida officials don't eat python meat. All right,
Wait,
never
did they
mind.
give a
Take
reason
it
why?
back. Oh, it's because of the dangerously high mercury levels.
Really?
This article says, with the Florida Python Challenge on the horizon, officials are warning residents to be extra cautious when it comes to eating python meat. The novelty pie known as Everglades pizza, which also contains alligator meat and frog legs, has become an attraction at a number of Florida locations, but diners should be wary of exactly where the python is coming from. Burmese pythons in the Everglades contain some of the highest levels of mercury found in a living creature.
Whoa.
So don't eat them. Never
They're
mind.
just full of mercury.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Way more than tuna.
Well, I learned something new today.
This says, all right, so this is...
You got to link this article in the...
Yeah, this is from Outside magazine.
Okay.
It says, for some reason, the pythons that are coming out of here, they have mercury concentrations higher than mine waste. Higher than a mercury mine.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
How?
They've never found anything that has this high of mercury levels that's still alive.
What?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What?
Yeah.
This is wild.
Yes.
Okay, scratch this episode.
Should we just be
need to
talking
go
about
back
the mercury
to...
levels?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
What are they have to get it from somewhere.
The mercury?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, where is that coming from?
Where is it coming
And they're
from?
like they're fine with it? Like they're just able to...
What?
It says in 2009, 24 python tails were sent to Dr. Krabenhoft to test in the USGS Mercury Research Lab in Wisconsin. The test found that the samples contained a mercury concentration of 5.5 parts per million, which, according to the report, is about 3 times greater than concentrations in tail tissues of the American alligator. And Florida residents are warned against eating fish with levels higher than 1.5 parts per million.
Oh my
5.5 parts per million, yeah.
And they're just like loving life.
And people are putting it on pizzas. At least one pizza parlor in Naples is offering this Everglades pizza in relation to the upcoming Python Challenge.
Oh.
So here at WOF, we're making a strong stance. We do not support eating pythons, especially not out of the Everglades.
No Everglades pythons.
Yeah.
Purely for your own health.
Yeah. In other areas, do your own research. I don't know if they have less mercury, but it sounds like the Everglades ones specifically are
well, I'd like to see like
full of
the ones
mercury.
who are in like Asia, if they have the same
Yeah.
levels. There needs to be a study.
I know.
Snake people, reach out to me at weirdsofeather@gmail.com.
All right, this is problematic because allrecipes.com is telling me Florida encourages residents to eat wild pythons to help combat overpopulation.
No.
They're just trying to sell you
All
recipes, man. Yeah.
Come on.
That's,
Also, they're always wrong on how long it takes to cook things.
yeah, so they're not a trusted source.
No.
So
Don't trust them.
when it comes to eating mercury, let's be safe rather than sorry. Not really something to take a risk with. So toss those carcasses once you're done with them, I guess.
We got wildly off topic here.
Yeah,
This is insane.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad I asked the question.
Thank God it really opened up a whole can of pythons.
Mercury
riddled.
Yeah, mercury riddled python.
Exactly.
That'd be a great band name.
Mercury riddled pythons.
Yeah.
Flows off the tongue.
Yeah.
All right, sorry to hijack your warm-up question, but we just learned something fun together.
I'm glad we all learned this together.
Yeah. Should we get into those little plishes?
Yeah, let's get into those little plishes.
All right.
Little plishes.
All right, Kristin.
Yeah.
What is your little plish?
I watched the Barbie movie last night. And it was something. Yeah. Woo! It was something I wanted to do. And I loved it. I'm a fan. I get the hype now. I get why everybody was obsessed. And now I am obsessed.
Yay.
Well, a couple months late, but
yeah. That's just you, though. That's your style.
That's late to the party.
I hate when there's something that's like a big hype and you're like, oh, it's probably not as good as everyone makes it out to be. And you like wait a while to watch it. And then you watch it, you're like, ah, damn it. Yeah.
I wanted to be like with the hype.
Yes, because now you want to talk about it and everyone's like, everybody's
like, come on. That was ages ago.
That's what I'm saying. You should watch Saltburn right now because in like 2 more weeks, you will have missed your shot.
I'll have to watch it.
Please. I want to talk about it.
I'm just going to be upset about the ending.
I know you are. the technicalities of it. Yeah.
This is why I ruin movies, but
You do.
yeah.
That's all right. Well, good job doing something that was
Yeah.
on your list that you wanted to do.
Yeah. Christopher liked it too. We both liked it.
Yeah.
Grace.
Yeah?
What's your little plish?
I went to Target, bought myself the same sweatshirt in 3 different colors. I'm wearing one now. It's blue.
Oh, is it the mint green one, the other one?
Yep. And I
like
got a
that
pink
color
one as well. Right?
Ooh.
They're fun and bright.
I like the bright.
Right? I like the style of sweatshirt. I like where it hits me.
Yeah.
I bought the pink one first, and I was like, I really like this.
Yeah, you got to get more.
Went back and got 2 more. And
Yeah.
now I can live my best cartoon character life.
There you go.
know? While still having some variation.
Yeah.
I'm wearing the same thing every day, pretty much, but in a bunch of different colors.
There you go.
So
I love it.
mixing it up. Yeah.
It looks
I
great.
feel like it pleases both my ADHD and my autism.
There you go.
Because my autism gets to wear the same thing every day. My ADHD gets some variation
You
in
got
the
to
color.
get the novelty. Yeah.
And it's bright.
And
you
it's
know?
bright.
Makes me feel
I love that. Maybe that's
springy.
why I like the Barbie movie so much, because of the colors.
Right?
I'm a big fan of colors.
It's very aesthetic. All right. And
Yeah.
that's my little plish.
Well, Grace,
Chris.
I hope your mouth isn't too full.
It's a little full, but I
Well,
could make some room.
Spit some stuff out. Ugh. Oh, God. Because we got a bagel bite today.
It's a bagel bite.
This is highly requested because I mentioned it on our New Year's episode.
And the people demand it.
They really did.
They're asking
Yes,
for it.
They're asking for it. Today, we're going to talk about water bottles.
yeah, we fucking are.
We really are. And maybe this is a little bit, especially by the time it comes out, you know, it's a little bit behind the ball because there's a lot of talk on TikTok about the Stanley Cup phenomenon. But
We're bringing it to the masses.
We're bringing it to the masses. I think everybody needs to know about water bottles. Especially, I'm obsessed.
It's a hot button issue.
It's a hot button issue.
Well, I think it also reflects, a greater problem with our culture of, consumerism.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I'm gonna talk about it briefly.
yeah, I think this is a more poignant episode than it sounds like it will be.
Yeah. So let's talk about water bottle. I'm calling this water bottle lore.
Okay.
So nowadays, reusable water bottles have become like almost a staple in our lives. You walk into a department store like Target, there's like a whole aisle dedicated to water bottles. But this didn't always used to be like this. So how did we get here? How did we go from no water bottles to all of the water bottles? How did one water bottle take over? Or how does each water bottle take over? I don't know. We're going to get into it. I do know, but here we go. So we're going to start at the beginning of reusable water bottles.
Okay.
Kind of. I mean,
Go
we could
back
talk
in
about like
time.
canteens, but we're going to talk about like the 60s and 70s.
What about the original water bottle? Like I said, cupping your hands.
um,
Put it in your pocket.
So reusable water bottles back when they were first made were, the 60s, 70s, when they really started to get popular, were only used by hikers and campers and hunters and people doing outdoor activities. The brand Stanley actually was first marketed as like thermoses to construction workers to keep their coffee warm, and like outdoor workers or, people who worked in like laborious jobs outside. Fun fact, my dad has an OG Stanley thermos, which he almost sold for $1 at a yard sale, and then I took it.
Good. Fool. Is
I
it
was
the
like,
plaid one?
No, it's the classic green.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
he always used to take it skiing and fill it with hot chocolate?
That's
and then we
such
would
a
have
dad
and
going
it's
skiing thing to do.
And it's always like piping hot. It keeps it so warm. The thing's like 30 years old. It's older
Nice.
than I am.
You're
I'm
34.
34.
You're 34.
Yeah.
So no.
So
but
it's probably a little bit younger than
close. You guys are like siblings. Yeah.
I am. It was brought up. But so he tried to get rid of it, and I said absolutely not.
Good call.
And I don't know where it is, but I have to steal it from him so he doesn't get rid of it again.
Hmm.
In the early 2000s, we started to see this like plastic water bottle craze, especially after companies like Coke launched their own brand of water, like Dasani.
Oh.
This kind of created this not only distrust for tap water, but this almost like ranking system of quality. For like you had like Fuji, which is still around, and Smart Water, and everybody started to make their own water. And then, you have people saying like, I think I remember reading an article how Cameron Diaz only washes her face with Fuji water.
Oh my God, dude. Get over yourself.
Right? Like one, I don't know if that's real. It shouldn't be. But it kind of created this need for quality water. And so everybody started drinking water bottles, and eventually the public kind of became a little bit more environmentally conscious, and they relied less on plastic water bottles and more on reusable water bottles. Companies saw this growing demand, and they were able to capitalize on this. And so now, every few years, the public has pitched this new, somewhat maybe more innovative form of water bottle that is advertised to us as like a must-have item.
It's like, how much variation can there be?
Well,
I'm sure you're going to tell me.
We're going to talk about it because there are. Because I, have fallen for this.
Yeah.
So I don't want to criticize anybody for being, victim of consumerism because it's tough.
You're a victim too.
Almost owned every single one of these water bottles that we've talked about.
They're so cute. Like you said, there's a whole aisle at Target, and you walk in, it's like bright colors, and they're all different sizes.
Yes, exactly. It's like a whole big thing.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, healthcare in particular, all the nurses have like fun water bottles because you never get a break. So you're always trying to you have like what's called a hydration station because you're not supposed to leave your water bottle anywhere but at the hydration station, which is like a 12 by 12 inch square where all the nurses on the floor have to squeeze in their water bottles and coffee.
Oh, so you want to distinguish yours from the rest. It's like having a suitcase.
Now there's it's almost like school. Like there's competition, like who got the latest new water bottle, which we're not going to talk about in this episode. But I would say the Stanley Cup craze is the perfect amalgamation of consumerism meets performative environmentalism.
Ooh,
right?
That was quite a sentence.
Yeah, because you have all these people wanting these reusable water bottles. They go crazy over it. It's like the Tickle Me Elmo of today, right? Remember that?
Yeah,
the Cabbage Patch doll, right?
Yeah. Good comparison.
But, people can't just have one anymore. Where there's all these colors, maybe you put rhinestones on yours. And so it turns out people are buying all these Stanley water bottles. You only really need one, is what I would say.
You can only use one at a time.
Only one at a time. But especially on TikTok, if you see these, TikTokers with multiple Stanley water bottles or just water bottles in general, it's kind of defeating the whole purpose of being environmentally friendly because you're using all this metal and plastic to get more water bottles when you really only need one water bottle.
People have roomfuls of just
it's wild.
Stanley Cups on their shelves.
It's wild. And I know there's other instances where maybe it's not Stanley Cups, maybe it's Funko, whatever, the Funko Pop things or, and maybe it does truly bring you joy. But I just think it's kind of funny where the water bottle kind of went from, let's use less plastic.
To what if we bought a bunch of plastic?
What if we bought a bunch of plastic, right?
And unlike the Beanie Baby craze, people went fucking nuts for Beanie Babies. But those were meant to be toys, first of all. So they were meant to be collectible items.
Yes.
They weren't trying to fix this problem of, a reusable thing. And also they came in a bunch of different animals. You're not buying 50 colors of the same thing. You're buying, fox, you're buying bear, you're buying whatever. The Princess Di bear. But water bottles, it's other than buying them in different colors, it's all the same thing.
Right.
And you're supposed to use this for functionality.
Right. I also think it's interesting that the brand Stanley, like I said earlier, was originally for, the middle lower class, the working class. To keep their hot drinks or cold drinks in, and now they're $40 to $80 per Stanley.
Well, isn't that how everything works? Where it's co-opted from the lower classes,
right?
Because rich people want to cosplay poverty.
Symbol, right? It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's I could talk about this all day.
I know you could.
It's blows my mind that this. I don't know how we didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure there's
it's still wild to think about.
Trend predictors out there who did see it coming.
Well, I have a trend I want to predict.
Ooh.
So, therefore, because I am struggling I do a lot of consumerism, and I have definitely fallen for this water bottle bonanza. I have made not only a timeline of water bottles, but I've also made a list of my own requirements when looking for water bottles because I have criteria. And I'm hoping that maybe it will help myself and maybe one or two listeners out there make kind of like a systematic and logical approach when buying a water bottle so we don't end up with like 50 water bottles in our cubby.
Yeah,
cabinet.
you don't want to just buy pretty shiny thing. You want to buy something that has the most functionality for you.
And I've definitely bought a water bottle based on its prettiness and then realized it was non-functional for me. And maybe because I have a lot of requirements for water bottles. Maybe because I have a lot of requirements, and maybe this is me going over the top about water bottles, but
that doesn't sound like you.
Right? So I'm hoping maybe it will help me kind of think about it in a logical way, and I'm hoping maybe it will help someone else out.
All right.
And this is not to say that if you have a Stanley cup or if you have a Hydro Flask, that you're not a bad person. This is what's been marketed to us, and people love their Stanley cups. If it truly brings you joy, then there you go.
Yeah.
But it is kind of crazy, this trend we've gotten into where like every 2 years we have a new water bottle that everybody has to have.
Yeah. Let's all take a step back.
Yes. Yeah. Let's take a breath.
Yeah. Look at the situation objectively.
Exactly.
Do you need all these new bottles?
Do you need all these water bottles? That being said, I'm talking about myself too. I have lots of water bottles. I need one, maybe two if one's being cleaned. That's all I need.
Yep. I have one.
Can I tell you about my water bottle requirements?
Please.
Okay.
I've been waiting forever for this.
And these are in no distinct order.
Okay.
It has to keep things cold.
Yeah.
So some like it has to keep things cold.
Okay.
I have to have a cold water.
Although I guess not everyone wants a super cold water. I don't really necessarily want a super cold water.
Right.
It hurts my teeth. And you're not supposed to drink cold water, really.
Well, I'm drinking it.
Yeah.
And speaking of drinking, it has to be easy to drink out of. For me personally, this means it's got to have a straw. That's my big thing.
Yep. And then imagine if you have a drinking disability like I do, you know?
Right.
You can't be dribbling down your
We're
front.
going to talk about it.
Okay.
All right. We're just going to talk about it.
All right.
So it's got to have a good drinkability function. You know, you got to easily drink out of it. And then, so yes, this means it has a straw. And then if it has a straw, I would prefer a straw that's not like exposed to the outside all the time.
Ew, yeah.
Yes. I work in healthcare. I don't want to get it contaminated.
That's a good point.
It's a big thing.
So one that like closes in with the cap when the cap closes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Something that's like hidden when I want it to be hidden.
A little secret.
Yeah, secret straw.
Secret straw.
And it's got to be easy to clean. So either you fit your whole hand inside to clean it, or you can get like an easy bristle brush. The easier to clean, the better. And then bonus points if it fits in a cup holder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Those are my requirements.
Okay.
Let me know if you have other requirements, listeners, or Grace.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
You don't.
I feel like fitting in the cup holder is, very important for me.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily need a straw because I think I drink.
I think these are for me specifically.
Yeah.
But
for me, I like to do a daily drink all at once, kind of like Lucy, where I'm like chugging.
Yeah.
Straw doesn't really work for that. I like to have a big open mouth hole, but with that comes a bunch of dribbles.
Yeah.
So it's a sacrifice. So
we're gonna talk about all these things.
All right.
And this might be the most autistic episode I've ever written.
Well,
here we go.
We've got steep competition, but let's see if we can make it happen.
So let's talk about the timeline of water bottle trends.
Okay.
So I want to start from beginning to current. And of course, we're going to start with the OG, the Nalgene. So the Nalgene, if you've been, under a rock, it's this hard plastic water bottle. And I'm talking about the OG one. It's got a hard plastic. It usually has like some sort of like measurements in ounces or milliliters on the side. It's got a big mouth and it's a screwable lid. It was popular. It was first in the 70s when it was first made. And it's, peak popularity in 2015. And then it kind of died out because there was other competition.
I think it was a big thing for like climbers because you could hook the loop of the cap onto like a carabiner.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it still is. So, this was probably one of the first widely popular reusable water bottles. It's super hard to break because of the plastic. They went BPA-free plastic in the early 2000s. These are all my pros. It's easy to clean because of the wide mouth, and the sipping surface is covered with the cover. So you sip out of it and then you cover it so it's not exposed to the elements.
Yep. And if the open mouth was too big, you could get one of those little sippy
you could get
covers put in there.
Comes with attachments. Cons, the wide mouth makes it very difficult to drink out of, especially if you're trying to take a big swig.
Or you got a drinking disability.
Definitely showered myself with a Nalgene before.
Yep. And like trying to figure out how much pressure, how much, motion to have to bring it back. Yeah, you could really drown yourself.
I think even with the special attachment, it was still really hard to drink out of. It's just the mouth to lip ratio is not
too big.
It's too big. And then doesn't fit in a hot cup holder. Like that sucks.
Yep.
Right?
And you got it rolling around in the car.
The next one we're going to talk about is the nipple top. We're going to which is, I think of it like the cheap plastic Gatorade bottles.
Yeah.
So it's just like this softer plastic water bottle with like this retractable nipple-like sipping mouthpiece where you kind of like grab it with your teeth. It was popular from the 1990s to it's still around. But I think it peaked popularity probably like in the early 2010s.
Gives you I like the squeeze. Gives you a good squeeze when you're playing a sport.
Yeah, it's easy to drink out of is what I said. It's easy to drink out of. You get a good squeeze. You get a stream going right into your gullet.
Solid stream down the gullet, yeah. That's why they call it Gatorade.
Cheap to buy. Easily customizable, like you put, people. I think our hospital gave out ones that said on it or something, and it fits in a cup holder. It's great. The cons: the nipple is exposed.
I wish you wouldn't say the nipple.
Well, I don't know how else to.
The suckling mechanism.
That's so much worse.
Isn't that better?
That's worse. The little nippy.
That's worse. Little nippy.
This isn't our only water bottle with a nipple that we're going to talk about.
Great.
But, so the nipple's kind of just exposed to the environment.
Cover up your nipples, man.
Yeah, you got to get that nip covered. And like I guess some came with like a little top, but most often it's just an exposed nipple. It breaks more easily than, especially the Nalgene is kind of indestructible, but this one kind of breaks. And I don't like the fact that you have to use your mouth to you're either pulling it with your hand, which I find disgusting, or you're using your teeth to retract the nipple, which is not great.
Kind of like that. I feel like it's satisfying, but that's just me.
It's not good for your teeth.
I know. And also, what are the plastic levels in that,
Yeah. Especially if they're really cheap. You're like, ugh, this is leaching into my water somehow.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Right? The next I want to talk about the Camelback.
Oh,
remember that one?
Yeah.
Classic. Specifically, I'm talking about the one with the nipple top because that was the most popular. So the Camelback was like the Nalgene. It was that hard plastic water bottle, but instead of just a wide mouth, it had this nipple-like sippy top where you had to kind of bite down on it and then suck, and it had a straw. The popularity was from 2006 to 2015. So pros, hard to break, lighter than some metal water bottles. It's easy sipping because you just sip with the straw. And the straw is, I would say, semi-protective. The little nipple top is semi-protected. I think the biggest con with this is that those nipples got so moldy. They were impossible to clean. It was easy to clean the actual water bottle, but and you can get a little straw brush to clean the straw. But the actual nipple itself, there's so many crevices, it was impossible to get really clean. And then you ended up with moldy nipples.
God, I wish there was a different word. So you're talking about an actual bottle, not the Camelback that you wear on your back and you have the straw attached to it?
Yes.
I guess I didn't realize they had an actual water bottle.
What? This was hugely popular. Hold on, I'm going to show you a picture.
Once I see it.
The Camelback Eddy is what it's called. It looks like this.
Oh, yeah, duh. Okay.
So it's like a Nalgene plastic, and then it has a straw, and then it has a little thing. You have to bite it and suck on it to get the water out. That was hugely popular. You didn't have one?
I think maybe I did have one. I forgot they were Camelback. I was thinking of the Camelbacks where you wear on your back.
Well, that's another thing. Camelback is a brand, but this one was specifically the Camelback Eddy. It was the water bottle that you had the little nip that you bit and sucked on.
God. If someone wanted to... Never mind, I'm not going to say it. Say if someone wanted to jack off to this episode, they probably could.
Gross.
They're doing it.
Gross.
Don't. I
now
wish
you put
wouldn't.
the idea in someone's head.
You put the idea in their head by saying,
I'm just talking about water bottles.
Bite and suck the nipples.
This is a PG conversation about water bottles.
Well, I just took it to the next level.
Yes.
They were thinking it. Moldy nipples got some people going out there. I know it did.
I don't know how else to describe it. The top of it,
yeah,
there's a lot of crevices that the brush cannot access.
Okay.
It's difficult to clean.
Then you got moldy nipples.
And now you got moldy nips. Yeah. It was a disaster. They're still sold today.
Oh.
This is one I forgot existed, but was stupidly popular. Do you remember Swell?
Swell? No.
I'm going to show you a picture, and you're going to remember it. Swell water bottles. I had to look this up, and then I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that, because everybody had one, and they had all kinds of colors.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah,
okay.
I remember those from like high school.
Swell is spelled S''WELL. It's a metal water bottle with a twist-on metal cap. Popularity was from 2015 to 2019. So when we were in college, basically.
After college, dude. We graduated in 2012.
Oh, shit.
Really aging ourselves.
Man.
Grad school.
Grad school is what I meant.
I never had one of those. I don't like, the mouth is too small.
I had a knockoff Swell, and I did not like it. And I'm going to tell you why. So the pros of this is it's lightweight for a metal water bottle. It kind of kept things cold. Very customizable. Many colors. Everybody had a different color. It is easier to drink out of than like your Nalgene or something with a wide mouth. It's easier to drink out of.
Maybe. But still, like, do you purse your lips to like sip on that little top, or do you put the whole thing in your mouth like a big bottle top?
Right. I also always, because your mouth was right on the metal, I always felt like I was drinking metal.
Yeah. I don't like the taste of them.
And then I found these really, because of the narrow mouth, it was really, really easy or difficult to clean.
Yep.
I felt like after like a week of having it, no matter how many times I cleaned it, I still felt like I was drinking dirty water, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
they're so tall and skinny. I feel like they're easy to tip over.
Yes. Well, that was the other thing. So they were easy to tip over, and they would dent easily. So everybody would have these like dented water bottles.
Tippy canoe.
Right. And now we're going to get into like our big names here that really kind of took over. This one was recently popular, the Hydro Flask. The Hydro Flask is a big metal vacuum sealed, so it's like double lined water bottle with a wide screw-on cap. It was popular from 2019 to 2022. It still kind of is popular, kind of. The pros is it's vacuum sealed, so it keeps drinks cold forever. It has all these colors. It's pretty tough. The cons is it was really expensive. I think it was like $40 for per water bottle. The outer shell dents easily.
Yep.
And then it was loud as fuck if you dropped it.
Yep.
Right? It was like, bow, 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 bow.
Yep. Ian still uses a Hydro Flask. He has like the huge ones, like the big, big dark blue one. Yeah. And it gets so dented because obviously he drops it all the time.
And does not fit in a cup holder.
No, not at all. Barely fits in the fucking passenger seat. It's like a child. The one he has is huge.
His mega water bottle.
Yep. They also make the super tall, skinny ones, which once again, easy to tip over.
Easy
then they're
to
loud,
tip over.
They're denting.
Yes.
No good.
Now we move on to Stanley. So Stanley is, once again, another metal vacuum sealed water bottle with what makes it different is it has a lid with like a hole in the center and then a plastic straw that comes with it. And so the lid allows the straw to kind of like poke through. It was popular from 2022, just kind of like took over from Hydro Flask. And it is still popular today.
I feel like all of a sudden, it's just like everyone's all about Stanley.
Well, I started seeing them a lot in the nursing field because I feel like nurses are always up on the latest water bottle trends.
Because it's like a middle school, but they have money to like buy whatever they want.
But I also think that they need water bottles. They just give them a break to drink some friggin' water.
Yes, that's the real issue here.
Real issue is they need more breaks. Yeah, so it's still popular today. The pros are it's really tough. It keeps things cold forever. It has a straw, so it's easy sipping. Many colors. So and customizable, and it fits in a cup holder, and some I think even have a handle, right? I think most of them have a handle.
Yes.
So it's like easy on that was the other thing with the Hydro Flask, because you have to like grip this, water bottle the size of a small child.
Yep.
And hold it to your face.
Yep.
So this one's a lot easier to sip out of. You have that straw, and you have a handle, and it fits in the cup holder. Ooh, Jesus. Sorry, Mike. The cons is it's super expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look. I think they're around 40 as well. But if you want to get like a special color, they can get up to 80. 40-ounce tumbler. They do hold a lot of water. This one's 45. The knockoffs are like 30. But most of them are 45.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Really expensive. They're also loud if you drop them because they're that like metal. My biggest issue is the straw is just exposed.
Yeah.
And I can't
Gross.
and I've seen even nurses, you can get like an attachment where it's like a little straw cap over it, but I still like the cap's only like, a centimeter or so down the straw. Like, I don't think it covers it. It's just it bothers me. It's not protected. Protect your straws.
Protect your nipples.
Yeah.
Hide your nipples.
Right? So it's still, I think it's still a subpar water bottle.
Do they leak? I thought I saw people say that they also leak.
Didn't. I'm sure it does because you have that hole with the, like it's not an airtight thing.
Yeah, it's not self-contained.
Right? And then I had a comment. It's gone now.
That's right.
But I still think it's a subpar water bottle. I think we can do better, people.
As a nation,
we
can demand better.
So I have some honorable mentions.
All right,
for water bottles.
Just a heads up, we're at like 38 minutes.
Okay. I'm almost done.
Okay.
The Yeti, which is basically a different brand of Hydro Flask. It's the same as a Hydro Flask. It's just Yeti brand. Those are stupid expensive.
Yeah, those are so expensive.
And the Starbucks cup with the straw, those were really popular.
Except we're boycotting Starbucks, don't.
So
fuck you, Starbucks.
And then I have your Burt's Bees water bottle as an honorable mention.
Oh, hear that, Lil?
Yeah. So I bought a new favorite water bottle, and I think it meets almost all of my requirements, and I think it's going to be the new trendy water bottle.
Wow.
I've been seeing it, I've been seeing it pop up in the sea of Stanleys at the nurses' station because I monitor this at least at my hospital. And I think it's going to be the new one. And
Kristin's trend predictions.
I'm trend forecasting right
now.
But I think if you were to buy a water bottle, this is my favorite one I've had because it meets all my requirements as of now. Maybe someone will make a better water bottle.
And you'll have to run out and buy
I'll probably
17
buy it
of those.
I have no what am I trying to say? I almost said will to live.
Self-control?
But, self-control.
Willpower?
Yeah. That's
also no will to live, but that's a separate issue.
So the water bottle is this one that I brought today.
Yeah, it's cute.
It's cute.
I like the colors.
It's called Owala, which for about the first month that I've had this, I thought it was the Odwalla brand.
Yeah, I've heard you call it Odwalla.
It's definitely not. I'm just dyslexic.
Yeah.
I'm going to spell it Owala.
And then maybe throw a bunch of E's in there at the end for safekeeping.
So it almost meets all my requirements. So what it is, it's like one of those metal vacuum seal water bottles, but the cap has a whitish mouth, but then the key is in the cap.
The key is in the cap.
So it does have a straw, but the straw is protected because it has this double capping system. I wish I knew. You're going to hear me jangle my water bottle, but you have a lid that locks it in place, and then you have a second lid that protects your mouthpiece, which is attached to the straw on the inside of the water bottle.
Oh, double lid system.
So one, you can sip either way. You can sip straw-like, or if you're a chugger, you don't have to use the straw.
Oh, so that's nice.
For all drinkers. Yep. It's inclusive.
Yeah, all inclusive.
All inclusive for drinkers. It keeps things cold forever. The biggest thing is the mouthpiece is concealed by a cap, and then it locks in place. So there's no way unless I don't screw the cap on correctly, it's not leaking.
So it's good for clumsy people.
Yes. I haven't dented it yet. Oh, there's a little dent in the bottom. But you know what? I've had it for a while. It's fairly easy to clean. You need probably a bristle brush for the straw. And then I couldn't fit my hand all the way in the bottom, so I bought a separate bristle brush, but it's not complicated to clean. The special cap is easily cleanable with just a regular sponge.
All right.
So I think there are more difficult water bottles to clean, but it's not the easiest to clean.
Okay.
You
in the
need
middle.
help. You need instruments.
Need assistance. It's a two-man job.
Right? And it does keep things cold forever. There's lots of different colors, which is nice. Mine, I realize, kind of almost looks like a little penis. One of my medical students who was with me told me that, and I was like, great, thanks.
I wasn't thinking that at all.
No, I like the orange. And then they were like, it's very phallic, isn't it? And I was like, shut up.
Aren't all water bottles kind of phallic?
A little bit.
Yeah.
But this is my new thing. I think especially in healthcare, because the cap goes over the mouthpiece and protects it from the elements, I think it's going to take off. I think it's going to replace Stanley. That's my trend. I think it should. It's a good water bottle. I think it was like $25 at Target.
There you go.
Which is still, I think, expensive for a water bottle, but it is what it is. But I think it's gonna take over, at least in healthcare. It's gonna take over the Stanley. I think it's a solid water bottle. It meets my requirements, and I'm happy with it.
All right, you heard it here first.
And that is my water bottle spiel. That is it.
All right.
Yeah.
That was good.
Any questions, thoughts, or concerns?
No, not really. I respect your research. I am interested to see how the trends play out.
Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on it, at least at my hospital, and see if this is the next thing.
Yeah, report back.
I think it's the most practical option for price, cleanability. The straw is protected.
Yeah, it's gross to just have your straw flapping around in the breeze.
Especially in healthcare, you just, God knows what happened.
Floating in there.
Yeah, no matter it just drove me nuts. And I have other water bottles that are like that have like the straw just like exposed, or they like bend down, but they're not truly covered. So if you drop your thing on the ground, I'm like, I guess I'm not drinking water for the day.
Yeah, gross.
Like there's no way I can clean that. And maybe this is me being like weird about how I clean my water bottle, but I think it's a real thing. Like you got to be able to clean it.
Yeah. I think I'm way too casual about the cleanliness of my water bottle, and it's good to be particular about that because that's something you should
one of my
care
things.
about. Yeah.
I want to clean one.
Yeah.
But I like this one. I guess I'll take a picture of it.
Yeah. It's cute.
And post it, and it's a cute little guy. And I truly honestly believe if I could forecast the next new water bottle, it's going to be this, especially what I've seen so far at the hospital.
And at the end of the day, if you have a water bottle that you really like and it's functional and it works for you, just stick with that one. You don't need to always be buying the newest water bottle. It's a water bottle.
But make a list of what you want in a water bottle.
Yeah.
Is what I would say.
Find something functional.
Functional that works for you. I feel like I have a lot of drinking needs.
Yep.
I really have a really hard time drinking water, which I really need to do. And if it's in a cup that I am not enjoying, then I won't drink.
Yep. Yeah. It's important.
So it's important to have the functionality for me. And so I would say if you're on the hunt for a new water bottle, just make a list of your requirements so you don't end up with a whole cupboard like I do of water bottles, failed water bottles of the past.
Yeah.
And go from there.
Graveyard.
Yeah.
And if you really like one that's not very cute and you're like, oh, I really want a cute one. Should I just buy a new one? Put a bunch of stickers on your other one.
Yeah, put a sticker on it.
Nalgene, Hydro Flask. They're not as aesthetic. Yeah, put some stickers on there.
Make
Get some
it your
fun
own.
ones. Yeah.
You can even, Etsy, I think they have like a rhinestone service where you can buy through them a water bottle and they'll cover it with rhinestones.
There you go. For all you rhinestone lovers.
Someone loves rhinestones.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you have a water bottle that you love and you can't say enough about it, write in to weirdsofeather@gmail.com. I want to hear about it.
Please.
Will I buy it? Probably, because I have no self-control.
No.
But I want to know, you got to give me the pitch. I need your elevator pitch of why this is the best water bottle. Do you have a different water bottle trend forecast? Let me know.
Yeah.
Or if you just want to talk shop about water bottles, I would love to know.
Please,
Did I miss a water bottle?
She
that
needs
was
someone to talk about
Yeah,
this
I know.
with.
I can't just hold this in forever. It's driving me nuts. Now it's in the ether. I feel a lot better.
Yeah, you
But
got
I've
it
had
out.
all these feelings inside the whole time, and no one wants to talk water bottles with me. I think it's a cultural phenomenon.
Well, you know what? Now people are forced to listen. And
Yep.
isn't that nice?
It is nice.
All right. This has been a Bagel Bite.
Yes. I
Thank
hope
you
you
for
enjoyed it.
listening. You can email us at weirdsofafeather@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram at Weirds of a Feather. You can join our Facebook group. You can just come by and say hi, give us a comment, talk about water bottles, talk about whatever else, send us a pizza secret, whatever you please. And I think that's it, yeah? Ooh.
What was the one we just did?
I don't know, it's too cute for me.